Good morning from the Boreal Bloom Homestead. Today is the first day of spring and it's a beauty out here. So the topic that we're going to talk about today is, can you really leave your homestead? So, the running joke around homesteaders is, there's always too much stuff to do, not enough time to do it, and pretty much you're married to your property. Well, we want to debunk that today and just talk about a few things that we're going to do that will allow us to get away from our homestead and go on a much needed vacation. So, we're very fortunate here. In about a week's time, we're going to be heading out down to Mexico for a little family vacation. Much needed break. We've had a busy winter with work for me and Allie, and she's doing some school courses. So we're looking to get away and just unwind and kind of hit a reset. So what's going to allow us to do that is two things that we have to do. One is proper planning. So like usual, we kind of got a plan in place that we're going to follow, and one of those things to do is kind of get everything ready for our people that are going to come in and take care of our homestead while we're away. And that's where the second thing comes in, is that sense of community. So you need to have like-minded people that you're able to lean on for support, because everybody needs support here and there throughout the years. So we're fortunate enough that Allie's parents are close nearby, and they're going to be able to help us do our chores while we're away, looking after the chickens, watching Allie's seed starts, and that is going to give us time to get away. So we're very thankful for that, and to set them up for success, we have to do a few things beforehand to have everything ready. So one of the things today is, if you can see, I'm at the chicken coop, and about a week ago I got a phone call from Allie while I was at work, and she said the fan was starting to make some noises. So it's looking like the bearings are about to go. So we want to be prepared and have that thing changed out so it doesn't fail while Allie's parents are here and have to deal with it themselves. So I'm going to get going here right away. We'll get that first thing done, being the fan, and then we'll talk about a few other things that we're going to do to set Allie's parents up for success, so it's an easy thing to take care of while we're away. We're going to head in the coop here, and I'm thinking the best thing to do while I'm getting this fan changed out is to chase the chickens that are inside the coop outside and close the automatic door. It'll just keep, all the commotion down, and I won't accidentally drop something on a bird or step on them while I'm getting off the ladder. So we have our Polish that usually like to hang out in the coop. So Sid's over there, we got Beth off the corner, and then we got Nancy in the box. So I'm just gonna go see, potentially, maybe there's some eggs in there. She's gonna let me check. Oh, she doesn't like it. Oh, well, I think we'll just let her do her business, and we'll come back and get those eggs afterward. So Nancy doesn't want to get out of the box, so I'm gonna pick her off so I can get started here. Oh, look at that. We got a bunch of eggs that she was sitting on. Okay. Come on, Nancy. Outside. The birds are all outside now. I was able to close the automatic door. So it's just going to be me and that fan getting nice and intimate, changing it out. So the reason why we're changing this fan is with all the dust and everything inside, that thing works pretty hard. You'll see from the exhaust fan that the dust is all getting blown out on the side of the coop, so that's going to be hard on the bearings. And like I discussed earlier, they're starting to make noises. They're going to start generating a bunch of heat if they're not working properly, and that could potentially be a fire hazard. So we're going to get that taken care of today, get a new fan put in, and then we'll be ready for another 100,000 miles in the chicken coop, hopefully. We got the old fan out, and when we started comparing it against the new one that Ali bought, we hit the jackpot. So it is the exact make and model fan. What are the, likelihood that Ali was able to pick that up just, conveniently at the local hardware store? So we'll take that as a win. So now we don't have to pull the old electrical off this box and put it on the new one. We're literally gonna put this back up in the same spot, secure it back to the roof, and then put the new fan motor in. We already double checked and plugged it into the existing box, and the fan works fine. So let's get back inside, let's get this hooked up and get the fan going for the chickens again. All right, that actually went pretty quick, and this is the moment of truth to see if it all works. It should, because I tested it before. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but here we go. Boom. We got a fan going again. Job one down.
These clothes are gonna come straight off our backs and go straight into the washing machine. Holy cow, is that filthy? I need a shower for sure. I don't know if you can tell, it's below zero here. Sorry, below freezing here for my non-Canadian friends. It looks like some things are melting, and that's because the sun has some heat today, but I still can see my own breath. So, it's one of those days. I should have been out here earlier, but I woke up and it was minus 27 this morning. So I said, hard pass on that. I'll do my chicken chores in the afternoon. The other day, Kevin and I tackled the exhaust fan project on the chicken coop, and now that we are down to 24 hours before we leave on a much needed family vacation, I am just going to do the few last minute things. But like Kevin mentioned, we're fortunate that my parents were willing to step up and step in for us when we wanted to leave, and they are doing us such a huge favor by offering to come every single day to check on our feathered kids and our fur kids and our green kids, my garden starts, and to make sure that everything is okay and everything is thriving while we're gone. And that is such a burden off of our backs. So some of the things that I want to do today is just to make sure it's super easy for them. So I've had them over and we've run through the few little chicken chores that we have every day. But I'm going to clean out the nesting boxes and refresh them so that when my mom and dad collect eggs, they're clean every day and they don't have to worry. I'm going to ensure that the feeder is fully topped up. I'm going to refill the scratch bin. I'm going to make sure that the oyster shell dispensers and the grit dispenser are full and ready to go. I am going to refresh the bedding like we talked about in our winter coop tour using peat moss, hemp, and shavings. And I'm just going to make sure that everything is 100% before we leave so that it's easier for them. Because I am oh so grateful for all of this because, it's not very often that you feel comfortable letting somebody take care of your animals and your home when you're away. So, I just have to do the best that I can to ensure it's easy on them so that maybe if I ask them next year, they're willing to come back and do it again. Somebody's fighting. The inside stuff is done, and all we have left to do is refill the oyster shells and the grit and the scratch bin, and we are in business. We are ready to leave the homestead, and I feel good about it. Woohoo! You guys know what I got. Come on, girls. Chick, 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 chick. Well, you can't eat right out of the bucket, little piggy wiggies. Beep, beep. So this is all I'm using. I have a round hanging waterer that I picked up at my local feed store, and it's been working awesome for the oyster shells. So it's got 2 hooks on the back, and I can just hang it right here on our fence. And then for my grit, I use a hanging corner feeder. It's got hooks on both sides, and unfortunately I don't have a corner with fence on both sides. But if I tuck it right in tight to the corner, it kind of holds itself there, and this just ensures that my girls have access to grit and oyster shells at all times. In the past few months, we started selling our excess eggs. We had way too many and we didn't even know what to do with them. And you can only eat eggs so many times in a day and in a week and in a month and in a year. So we started selling off our excess. And I noticed shortly after we started selling that the shell quality for our girls was not as good as we were used to. And the only thing that I could think was that, you know, we weren't supplementing their eggshells back to them to continue that cycle of calcium supplementation. So I did have to add like the oyster shells, and they do go through quite a few of them. But I noticed since we started offering oyster shells, they have had much better shell quality. So I am happy with that. The chores are done. The prep work is done. The chickens are happy. And now Kevin and I can enjoy our holiday.